Hey, we're going to talk about Clipart. uh, I may or may not have a large collection of Clipart that we don't need to talk about. We're not here to talk about my Clipart habit today. We are here to talk about how Clipart can improve your pages. And I'm not just talking about making things pretty or adorable like this cute little robot is right here. I'm also talking about conversions and how using Clipart in your pages so that you've got good imagery on your pages is really going to help with your conversions. So we're going to talk about there's two main things that are the most obvious when people think about their funnel pages, copy and design. And you can't have a good page without both. You need good copy and you need good design. If you've got really, really good copy and it's really connecting with people, they might not read it if they land on a page where the design is poor and it doesn't feel trustworthy. They'll bounce right off that page without ever reading your beautiful words. So we want to make sure that you've got good design on your page. On the other hand, we can't focus solely on design. You do need to make sure that your copy is good, because if you've got really pretty design, but the first few words that they read don't connect with them or don't feel trustworthy, again, they're going to leave. So this video is more about design, but I am not saying you should ignore your copy just so that your design can shine. So we want to make sure that our clip art that we're using in our pages is complementary to our design, our copy. So I'm going to go through a couple of examples of templates that I have in my membership, or even actually one of my pages. I'm going to show you those, kind of show you how I use the clip art, and then we're going to run through some guardrails for how you might want to use it in your own. So first off, we've got this page that is about selling bots. So if you want to sell a GPT or a Claude skill or even a micro app, some form of bot on the internet, you can grab this page from my membership and just put it out there really quick. Not everything is about bots, obviously. There are lots of different kinds of clip art, and it can go on all kinds of different pages for sales or freebies of all different kinds. We're just talking about this particular template with bots on it right now. So you can see that this is kind of an attention grabber. It's here to grab the attention, but I've also got copy here. This is a template, so obviously yours wouldn't say attention grabbing headline. But it's here to grab attention, but not necessarily pull too much focus from the copy. Three things that you want to make sure you are doing with your clip art when you're putting it into your page is creating eye breaks. So if you've got a long page full of copy, just a wall of text, people aren't going to read that. They need a break. You need to be able to look over at something. It doesn't have to be cute. A lot of mine are cute because I like cute stuff. And I get to do that with my business. You don't have to have yours be cutesy. So don't necessarily count yourself out of this just because you don't want to create something that's cutesy on your page. There's a lot of clip art out there and it doesn't have to be cute. It can be pretty or inspirational. There's all kinds of clip art. So you want to make sure you're creating those eye breaks. You want to show some of your personality. Put some of your personality on a page. If there's clip art that you think is cute or beautiful or inspirational, then your people probably will too. So it's showing a little bit of who you are when you're putting these on your page. And then you also want it to be connecting with them. It's kind of tied with the personality one. If you're putting some of your personality out there with the clip art that you're putting on your page, then that's probably going to be returned. But you also want it to be connecting with who they are. So if you are putting out a freebie or a product, you want that clip art to connect with that and with the person who's viewing it so that maybe they're more likely to read more on the page. So you can see here that I've got a big one here, and one of the guardrails I want to talk about is keeping your scale intentional. So this one is an attention grabber. So it's nice and big. It's gonna grab them and pull them in. But if you scroll down a little bit, I've also got these little cute guys. So there's more copy here to read and there's different pieces of it. So these are going to help just break it up. These are eye breaks, but they're also interest generators. So I've got this cute thing here, and if this up here is enough to get them to scroll a little bit, they're going to see pretty quickly there's more cute robots to look at. So they might want to come down here and see what these are all about. I scroll just a little bit longer. Look, there's another one to look at. And this one is bigger because it is next to a section that I really want them to read. I want them to read these too. That's why these are here. But if you make everything really big, then nothing is special and nothing is different. So these aren't necessarily less special, but because they're different, maybe they're more likely to look. So you want to play with scale a little bit, make sure it fits where your page is, but you also want to create those eye breaks. This is putting a lot of personality on this page, and it's connecting with anybody who likes cute robots. So it is multifaceted, and there are a lot of ways that this is connecting with people. And these are all inside of the funnel builder as an image itself. These were added in, like I dragged in an image spot and uploaded this into that. But there are also ways that you can put it into the background. So I'm going to pull over another page. You can put little images in the background. This is from my sales page for my membership. And these little bots, this little guy in particular, shows up in all of my bots. So I have a whole library of GPTs that go into my membership to help people with their sales and their sales pages. And every single one of them has this bot doing something different. So this is recognizable to my brand, and that's why it has made it onto my page. This is also recognizable to my brand. I put these in a lot of things. You can see them in here. Here's my little box. So there are ways you can add clip art into the background to kind of liven things up. So this isn't just this big blue section. I've got some things on the sides that are going to kind of liven it up a little bit. Then there's also sections like this where it's a list, and lists can be boring. So I wanted to liven it up a little bit. I've got these cute little bots hanging out here, just showing some of it off. So there are a lot of different ways that you can add in stuff in the background. This is a Canva background that I made that is mostly blank, but just has these little guys on here. And the same thing with putting it in the background here. So there are a lot of different ways that you can add clip art to liven things up. This is this is a template that's inside my membership that I created um, for New Year's. So if they were doing a New Year's sale, end of year sale, something along those lines, they could come in here and grab this. This background here is a piece of clip art. And then there are some cute little guys down here, the Countdown crew. This is another set of clip art that I got from the same person who did the robots that we saw. So I grabbed that set and I was able to put them. Some of them are in the mock-up, some of them are in the background. I've got a few in the foreground. This was another piece of clip art that I put in here to just liven up this scroll. They're in the background here. This one's in the foreground. And I was able to add this little bit of text in Canva. There are a lot of different ways that you can use these little pieces of clip art to liven up your pages. So I highly recommend doing something like that. And so if we're going to talk about guardrails, we talked a little bit about how we're using it as an eye break and we're keeping the scale intentional. But we also want to make sure that there's breathing room. If I have this guy over here kind of like halfway behind all this copy, that doesn't look good. It's not trustworthy if you have everything squashed together. You want to make sure that they've got a little bit of room to breathe. Down here as well, he's not standing on my copy or squishing in right next to it. He's got a little bit of room around him, and there's some white space here because we don't want to overcrowd things. You don't want to put so much clip art on your page that people aren't looking at your copy at all. So white space is still good. I'm not saying that you should cram everything in and get rid of all your white space, but here we go. He's here. He's got room to breathe, but he's drawing the eye, and now there's some copy next to him. Things are great. We've got some space. You also want to make sure that it makes sense. We want to avoid just filling space. Don't just fill the space. You want it to be intentional. If you think about an eye break, it is technically space that you're filling. However, you're also usually creating that space for the eye break, and you want it to be intentional. Like these bots make a lot of sense on this page because it is about selling a bot. It is a GPT or a Claude skill, some sort of bot that we're selling. These bots won't make sense if you're selling, I don't know, hot dogs or garden tools. Like, so it needs to make sense, and it needs to make sense for your brand, your colors. It needs to make sense for what you're selling, and it needs to make sense to match your customer. It needs to resonate with them. So don't just grab a random clip art pack just to fill space. You want to make sure that it's intentional. You also want like a repeatable visual language. So these bots are from the same clip art pack and they are all kind of in the same style. So they are recognizable through the page without kind of creating a jarring sensation that it's just a completely random different bot. Like you saw the bots that are on my sales page, they're different from these bots. It's a different style. So it's okay to have maybe a few different ones, but you don't want to go into 64 clip art packs and grab one thing and suddenly I've got bows and rainbows in the background on this page where there's nothing about bows and rainbows in the GPT that I'm selling. So you want to make sure that it all is repeatable, it makes sense, and it feels like a flowing style. Like I've got the thank you page here too. You can see that this bot is kind of in the same style as all the others. And I've got more of them down here. They're all kind of, they feel recognizable to the same flow. So you want to make sure that you are repeating that language and not it can create a really jarring sensation if you've got things that are just wildly different. And then you also, we touched on this a little bit, the copy still needs to be the primary. It's still really important that they read those words because if these bots were on this page by themselves, people would be like, oh, cute bots. But if they don't know what you're selling or your copy isn't connecting with them, then they're just cute bots. These can help put accents on your copy and make it connect a little more um, with the person that you're trying to speak to. And that's the idea. You want to use them to support your copy. It's a break for the eye, but it is also support because your copy is really, really important. They have to work together. If they're disjointed, there's just really no point in adding that there. So I hope this helps a little bit. There are ways that you can use clip art and pretty images in your backgrounds or even in the foreground of your pages to really connect with people. So go find some clip art and put some in your pages and see how it goes. I'd love to hear about it. Let me know. And also, I am going to be dropping a link to my membership if you'd like templates like this one, just that you can grab and put in your account and go. And also to the membership for the clip art where I get all of this cool stuff. She's also got a workshop coming up soon, depending on when you're seeing this video, so check the date. But I'm going to pop a link to that workshop below too, because she's going to show you other ways that you can use pretty clip art, probably ways that are a little more obvious than sticking them in a funnel page. But this, if you've got maybe a little bit of a collection going like me, a little clip art habit like I do, it's a lot of fun to see the different ways that you can use that clip art to really, maximize the value of it. Girl math, go in and get that clip art and use it in different ways so that obviously you need more, right? Right? That's right, isn't it? Or don't. But clip art is fun and use it to make your pages more fun too.